Hey there, mathematicians. Happy Tuesday. I hope you finished your coordinate grid paper. Make sure you bring it back to class with you next time you go to class. And today we're going to use our plotting coordinate grids to have a little bit of fun and to create a mystery picture. So I'm going to do an example one with you so you have an idea of how to complete it. And if you need to, you can always rewind this and watch it again. So I'm going to switch my camera over here to my grid, and this is a secret message coordinate grid. Okay, so down at the bottom I have coordinates, and I'm going to use those x and y coordinates to plot some points. Now you'll notice my coordinates are listed this way, and then in between there's a space and it says stop. And I'm going to zoom that in for you so you can see just a little bit better. Okay, so you see on the coordinates in between a couple it has the word stop. So I'm going to show you what that means and how we're going to grid that. Okay, so for this coordinate grid, we're going to remember that the bottom horizontal axis is our x-axis and the vertical axis is our y-axis, which is important because x comes before y. Our coordered pairs are in an x-y pair. So x comes first, y comes second. All right, let's graph our first one. I'm going to use my trusty ruler to help my old eyes so I can track these lines without getting confused. The first one's 15:8. So we're going to go over 15, I'm marking my line, and then I'm going to go to 8, and then where they meet, I'm going to put a point. The next one, and I'm going to put a little line through it so I know I've done that one. The next one's 15:12. So I'm going over 15, same line, and then 12. Up to 12, over, and point. Now in a mystery picture, you're always going to connect the point to the last point that you drew. So I'm going to connect those points with a ruler. Cross it out, did it. Next one's 17:12. So I'm going to go over to 17, up to 12, and put a point. And I'm going to connect it to the last point that I plotted, always in order from the last one. Next, 17:8. Over 17, up 8, put a point, and connect the dots to the last one. And the next point's 15:8. Over 15, up 8, and you'll notice we already plotted that point. So we're just going to connect it, since that's our last point, to the last point we plotted. It's done. Now it says stop. The stop means we are not going to connect these 2 points. We're going to create a new shape. So my next shape is 8, 8. We're going to go over 8, up 8, put a point. Done. 6, 8. Over 6, up 8, where it meets, point. Connect the points. The next one is 6:12. Slide this under here so it sticks for me. 6:12. Over 6, up to 12, where it meets, point, and I'm going to connect it to the last point I did. 8:12. Going to go 8, up to 12, where they meet, point. And I'm going to connect it to the last point that I drew. It says stop, so I'm not going to connect these 2 points. I'm going to start a next shape at 9:12. Over 9, up to 12, point. Remember, it was a stop sign, so I'm not connecting. But I am going to connect that point to 9:8. Going over 9, up 8, where it meets, point, and connect. 11:8. Over 11, up 8, where it meets, point, and connect. Stop sign, so I'm not going to connect. 3:8. Over 3, up 8, point. 3:12. Over 3, up 12, point, and connect. Stop sign, I'm not going to connect any, so I'm in my next shape. 6:10. Over 6, up to 10, point. That lies right on the line. 7:10. Over 7, up 10, point, and connect. Done. Stop, don't connect. 3:10. Over 3, up to 10, point. 5:10. Over 5, up 10, where they meet, point, and connect. Stop, not connecting again. 12, 12, over 12, up to 12, where they meet, point. 12, 8, over 12, up 8, where they meet, point, and connect. 14, 8, still connecting. Over to 14, use my ruler to space it. 8, point, and connect. Think I got it. Stop, so not connect. The next one over. 5, 8, over 5. Use my ruler to mark it. Up to 8, where they meet, point. And last but not least, 5, 12, over 5, up 12, where they meet, connect. So our secret message is hello. The key to a secret message is every time you see that word stop, don't connect the point to the previous shape. We're always going to connect the points to the last one we drew. So now it's your turn. You have a secret message that's a little bit longer, and if you need to take a break from it, you can always finish it Wednesday in between your Zooms. But this is set up. Here's all your ordered pairs, and this one's going to go vertically this way. And these boxes in front of them are to check off so that you keep track of where you were. Every time you get to a stop sign, you are not going to connect these 2 points. So every one of these chunks is going to be a separate shape, and those are going to be done separately. So let's take a look. I'm going to do this shape first. Okay, 7, 6. Here's my grid. And the grid is just like the one we used, except this one's a little bigger because we have more points. Okay, so my first coordinate grid was 7, 6. So I'm going to use my X first. Notice it's labeled X. We're going to go across 7, use your ruler to help you, and go up to 6. When it meets, put a point. Then I can check off this little box to say, okay, finish that one. Now I'm going to 6, 6. So this one, I'm going over to 6, up to 6, and where they meet, point. We're going to connect those lines. Done with that one. Now 6, 3. Over 6, up 3, where they meet, point. Connect it to the last one you just drew. Next, 7, 3. Over 7, up 3, where they meet, point. Connect those two. And last but not least, 7, 6. Over 7, up 6, where they meet, point. We already have that point, so we're going to close the shape. Check. That shape is done. Now you're going to do the same thing for all of the shapes. Remember not to connect when you see the word stop. Now you'll notice I'm using marker. Please don't use marker or pen for the first time you're doing this. Use pencil because I'm sure sometime you're going to make a mistake and have to erase. Just do the best you can, and if you can't tell what the mystery picture is, that's okay. Bring it on in and we'll try to figure out where you went wrong. But it's really fun, and if you do it correctly, there should be a picture that answers the question, who's there? So do the best you can. Each one of these shapes up to the stop sign, you're going to connect the point to the last one. Let's do one more just to make sure. Let's do this one. 13, 3 is our first shape. So I'm going to go over 13, up to 3, and where they meet, point. Check. 14, 3. Over to 14, up to 3, where they meet, point. Connect the dots. 14, 6. Over to 14, up to 6, where they meet, point. I sort of see a symmetrical shape here. It looks like this one. 13, 6. Over to 13, up to 6, point, and connect. Now you notice this one doesn't have a fifth shape to close it, so I'm going to stop and not close this off because that last shape was 13, 6 and then it said stop. So I'm not going to close that right there. I'm going to stop right there. Good luck. Do the best you can. If you get stuck and you get mumbled, just bring in whatever you are able to get done, and we'll go over it and see where you went wrong. Have fun with your coordinate grid, and I can't wait to see the pictures you make to answer who's there.